Your slower pace has not reduced your worth. The years behind you are not empty years. They hold wisdom, endurance, tenderness, and truth that someone still needs. I know what the quiet can feel like at the end of the day. The room grows still. The light fades across the floor. The voices that once filled the house are no longer as close as they used to be. In that silence, thoughts rise that you kept beneath the surface while the day was busy. You wonder whether the world is moving on without you. You wonder whether your best days are behind you. You wonder whether your life still matters now that you cannot move as quickly, work as long, or carry as much as you once did. My beloved, I am with you in that room. I am not standing far away, watching without concern. I have drawn near to you. I know the weight behind your sighs, the questions you do not always speak, and the fears that return when sleep is slow to come. I see the way you look at your hands and remember all they have done. Those hands worked, cooked, repaired, held children, signed papers, wiped tears, carried groceries, tended gardens, and reached for mine in seasons no one else understood. Now they may ache, they may move more slowly, they may tremble, but they have not lost their dignity. I see the changes in your body. I know that getting out of bed may require more patience than it once did. A staircase may look steeper. A long drive may feel more demanding. A name may take longer to come to mind. A new pain can awaken fear before you have had time to understand what it means. Do not be ashamed of the grief that comes with these changes. Aging can include real losses. You may miss the strength you once had, the work that gave structure to your days, the spouse or friends who once knew your stories, and the independence you fought hard to build. I do not ask you to pretend that these losses are easy. I do not condemn you for mourning them. I wept beside a grave. I know that grief is not unbelief. I know what it is to feel sorrow in the presence of people you love. Bring your grief to me without polishing it. You do not have to hide behind brave words. I can receive your honesty. I also know the fear beneath the grief. You look at the cost of food, medicine, housing, transportation, and care, and you wonder whether what you have saved will be enough. You may live on a fixed income, while the world around you keeps becoming more expensive. You may hesitate before making an appointment because you are afraid of the bill. You may study your bank balance late at night and imagine every possible crisis at once. You fear losing control of your health. A moment of dizziness can make your heart race. A forgotten word can feel like a warning. You wonder whether you will still be able to drive, prepare your meals, manage your medications, or remain in the home you love. And beneath many of these worries is one fear you can barely say aloud. You do not want to become a burden. You have spent years helping other people. You were the one who answered the phone, brought the meal, paid the bill, solved the problem, gave the ride, and stayed awake when someone else was hurting. The idea of needing help now may feel humiliating. You may fear becoming a responsibility on someone else's calendar. You may worry that your children will feel trapped, tired, or resentful. Listen to me carefully. Needing care does not erase your worth. Receiving help does not cancel your dignity. Human beings were never created to live without depending on one another. There were seasons when others needed your strength. There may now be seasons when you need theirs. Love is not dishonored when it changes direction. You are not a task to be completed. You are not a problem to be managed. You are not a number on a medical chart or an expense in a family budget. You are a person made in the image of God, known by name, and redeemed at great cost. I did not give my life for the younger version of you and then lose interest as your body changed. I did not love you only when you were productive. My love was never a wage that you earned by working harder. My grace was never a reward for remaining independent. When you could carry others, I loved you. When you need someone to steady your steps, I love you. When your mind feels clear, I love you. When you feel confused or afraid, I love you. When your home is full of voices, I love you. When the room is quiet, I love you. Your worth has never been measured by the speed of your body, the size of your paycheck, the number of people who call, or the amount you can accomplish before sunset. The world often praises youth, visibility, efficiency, and constant motion. It may treat aging as something to hide or apologize for. It may speak as though a person becomes less important when retirement begins, when strength declines, or when public influence grows smaller. Do not accept that measure as truth. You are not a machine losing value because some parts move more slowly. You are a soul being formed through a lifetime of choices, losses, mercies, failures, forgiveness, and faith. The years have not merely taken from you, they have also taught you what cannot be learned quickly. You know that appearances can deceive. You know that money cannot guarantee peace. You know that some arguments are not worth winning. You know that grief changes shape but love remains. You know that ordinary kindness can hold a family together. You know that a person can survive a season they once believed would destroy them. This is not useless knowledge. It is wisdom, shaped by time. Your life is not a waiting room where you sit without purpose until the end. This season can be quieter without being empty. It can contain limitations without losing meaning. It can require help while still allowing you to give. Perhaps you cannot serve in the ways you once did. That does not mean you have nothing to offer. Purpose is not limited to physical strength, public recognition, or a crowded schedule. Sometimes purpose looks like listening without rushing. Sometimes it looks like making one phone call, writing one note, praying faithfully, telling the truth gently, or receiving another person without judgment. A younger person may know how to move faster, but you may know how to remain steady. Someone may have more information, but you may have discernment. Someone may know how to attract attention, but you may know how to give attention. These gifts matter. Hear the promise recorded in Isaiah chapter 46. God spoke to his people and assured them that even into old age and gray hairs, he would sustain and carry them. That promise does not mean you will never face hardship. It means you do not face hardship abandoned. For much of your life, you were the one doing the carrying. You carried children when they were small. You carried responsibilities no one noticed. You carried financial pressure, family conflict, private grief, and expectations that left little room for weakness. Now I invite you to release the belief that you must carry everything alone. Come to me. As I said in Matthew chapter 11, when you are weary and burdened, I will give you rest. Rest does not always mean every problem disappears. It means you no longer have to bear your soul, as though no one is holding you. Let me carry what belongs in my hands. Give me the future you cannot predict. Give me the diagnosis you do not yet understand. Give me the fear that your resources will not last. Give me the shame that rises when you need assistance. Give me the loneliness that intensifies after sunset. Then take the next wise step that belongs in your hands. Trust is not denial. Faith does not require you to ignore a symptom, avoid a difficult conversation, or pretend a bill does not exist. You honor me when you seek truth and act with wisdom. Schedule the medical appointment you have been postponing. Write down the questions you want to ask. Bring someone you trust if the conversation feels overwhelming. Take your medication as directed. If anxiety, depression, panic, memory changes, or sleeplessness are becoming severe, speak with a doctor, therapist, counselor, or trusted pastor. Asking for qualified help is not a failure of faith. Review your practical needs without shame. Ask a trustworthy family member, financial counselor, social worker, church leader, or community service for help understanding the resources available to you. Make a clear list of expenses. Avoid decisions driven by panic. Do not sign something you do not understand. Wisdom often arrives through careful questions and honest conversations. Look at your home with compassion rather than pride. A handrail, better lighting, a medical alert device, help with transportation, or support with meals may protect your independence rather than take it away. Accepting a wise safeguard is not surrender. It is stewardship. Tell the people who love you what you need before a crisis forces the conversation. You do not have to explain everything at once. Begin with one honest sentence. Say, I have been more afraid than I have admitted. Say, I need help understanding my options. Say, I want us to make a plan together. The people around you may not respond perfectly. They may need time. They may have limitations of their own. Do not measure your worth by one hurried reply or one disappointing conversation. Keep seeking safe and trustworthy support. And do not let loneliness persuade you to disappear. I understand why you pull back. You do not want to interrupt anyone. You do not want to sound needy. You may tell yourself that everyone is too busy, yet isolation can make fear louder and hope harder to hear. Reach toward community in one manageable way. Call a friend, speak with a neighbor, attend a church gathering that is accessible to you. Ask whether someone can help with transportation. Join a small group by phone or online when leaving home is difficult. Let others know when the quiet has become painful. My presence is real, but I do not call you to use my presence as a reason to avoid people. I often bring comfort through human hands, attentive voices, meals, rides, doctors, counselors, pastors, friends, and family members. Receive those gifts with discernment and gratitude. There is no shame in saying, "I am lonely." There is courage in telling the truth before loneliness becomes despair. If you ever feel that life is no longer worth living, or that others would be better without you, do not remain alone with that thought. Tell someone immediately. Contact a trusted person, a health professional, or emergency support where you live. Your life is precious, and the darkest thought does not have the authority to define your future. My beloved, your age does not make you invisible to me. Your room is not beyond my reach. Your name has not been removed from my heart. The book of Psalms says that those who are planted in the house of the Lord can still bear fruit in old age. Notice what this does not say. It does not say that every older body will feel young again. It does not say that pain will never return, or that every limitation will disappear. It speaks of fruit that can remain, even when the seasons change. The fruit I desire in you is not endless labor. It is love that has become patient. It is joy that has survived sorrow. It is peace that does not depend on perfect circumstances. It is kindness offered without needing applause. It is faithfulness in small things. It is gentleness that comes from knowing how deeply words can wound. It is self-control shaped through years of choosing what is right, when it was not easy. This kind of fruit is needed in your family and in the world. A younger parent may need to hear that one difficult season does not mean the family is ruined. A grandchild may need someone who listens without immediately correcting. A neighbor may need a calm voice after receiving frightening news. A nurse may need a word of gratitude during an exhausting shift. A lonely friend may need someone who remembers the date that still hurts. You do not need a stage to offer these things. You do not need a title. You do not need perfect health. You need willingness, wisdom, and love. In the letter to Titus, older believers were called to live with reverence and to teach what is good. This is not permission to control younger people or speak as though age makes every opinion correct. It is an invitation to model steadiness, integrity, compassion, and self-control. Your experience becomes a gift when it is offered with humility. Do not demand that others repeat your choices. Tell them what you learned. Admit where you were wrong. Share the mercy that met you after failure. Speak honestly about the consequences of bitterness, pride, fear, or silence. Let your wisdom sound like love rather than superiority. You may say, "I wish I had apologized sooner." You may say, "I spent too many years worrying about what other people thought." You may say, "I learned that asking for help can save a relationship." You may say, "I did not understand grace until I had nothing left to prove." Such words can become a lamp for someone walking through a place you already know. Do not despise the smaller size of your present world. A life can become geographically smaller and spiritually deeper. A single room can hold prayer, forgiveness, reconciliation, learning, laughter, and love. A conversation can change the direction of a family. A handwritten note can remain in a drawer for decades and be read again when your voice is no longer physically present. You are still shaping what comes after you. You may think your stories are too ordinary to matter. You remember kitchens, workplaces, long car rides, family disagreements, lean seasons, prayers answered slowly, and mistakes that taught you humility. These memories may not seem dramatic, but they carry the texture of a life. They tell the next generation where they came from and what your family survived. Share those stories honestly. Do not make the past sound perfect, and do not use it to shame people living in a different world. Tell them what was beautiful, what was hard, what you misunderstood, and where grace met you. Explain how you endured a loss, why a friendship mattered, how you learned to manage little, or what you wish you had known when you were young. Your family may not appear interested at first. They may be distracted or unsure what to ask. Do not assume that means your memories have no value. Write them down. Record your voice. Label photographs. Preserve the names of people whose kindness shaped you. Leave behind more than dates. Leave meaning. And listen to the stories of younger people too. Wisdom is not a one-way speech. Ask what they fear. Ask what pressures they face. Their world may be different from yours, but their need to be seen is familiar. When you listen with curiosity rather than judgment, your experience becomes a bridge instead of a wall. There is still room for mutual learning. You can offer perspective, and you can remain teachable. You can bless the next generation without controlling it. You can honor the past without living only in the past. Perhaps your body limits what you can do today. Then choose one act of faithfulness that fits the strength you have. Not the strength you had 20 years ago, the strength you have today. Pray for one person by name, send one message of encouragement, record one family story, write down one lesson you want your grandchildren to remember, thank one caregiver, ask forgiveness where it is needed, offer forgiveness where it is safe and honest, make one appointment, accept one invitation, ask one clear question. Small does not mean insignificant. I fed a crowd through a small offering placed in my hands. I praised a widow whose gift looked small to others. I welcomed children when others considered them an interruption. Again and again, I showed that the kingdom of God does not measure importance the way the world does. Place what you have in my hands. Do not condemn yourself for what you no longer have. You may still carry regret. Aging often gives the past a louder voice. Memories return. Choices you would change become clearer. You may grieve the years you spent angry, absent, addicted, afraid, controlling, or silent. You may wish you had loved someone better. Bring those memories to me. My cross is not only for the sins of your youth. My mercy is present now. Confession is not too late. Reconciliation may not always be possible. And another person may not respond as you hope. But you can still choose truth. You can apologize without defending yourself. You can make amends where it is safe and appropriate. You can release what cannot be repaired into my care. Do not spend the rest of your days punishing yourself for what I am ready to forgive. I gave my life for you. I rose from the grave so that sin, shame, and death would not have the final word. Your body may be aging, but your hope is not dying. Your future with me does not depend on remaining strong enough to earn it. It rests in my grace. This does not make the thought of death simple. You may still feel afraid. You may wonder what the final season will require. Speak that fear to me. I will not shame you for it. Remember what I told my disciples in John chapter 14. I spoke peace to troubled hearts and told them not to be afraid. The peace I give is not the fragile peace the world offers. It is not based on having every detail under control. It is not based on having every detail under control. It is not based on having every detail under control. You do not have to solve the next 5 years tonight. You do not have to carry next month before it arrives. Receive the grace given for this day. Today, eat what nourishes you. Take the medicine prescribed to you. Rest when your body asks for rest. Move safely when movement is possible. Ask for help when a task is no longer safe. Speak to someone before the silence becomes heavy. Pray without pretending. Give thanks for one mercy you can still see. Tomorrow will bring its own decisions. I will meet you there. Now I want you to release several lies that have been tightening around your heart. You are not less valuable because you need more time. You are not less lovable because you need more help. You are not forgotten because the phone has been quiet. You are not a failure because your body has limits. You are not defined by your income, your diagnosis, your mobility, or the number of tasks you complete. You are allowed to grieve without calling yourself faithless. You are allowed to rest without calling yourself lazy. You are allowed to ask questions without calling yourself weak. You are allowed to receive care without calling yourself a burden. Your next faithful step matters, even when it appears small. Your wisdom can still bless someone. Your prayers still matter. But prayer does not require dramatic language. You do not control angels, destinies, or outcomes through your words. You bring your requests to my Father with humility, and you trust His wisdom. Faithful prayer changes you, sustains you, and places what you cannot control into hands more faithful than your own. Your presence still matters. Sometimes the greatest gift you offer is not advice but attention. Sometimes the holiest thing you can do is listen. Sometimes the most courageous thing you can say is, I need help. Hold these truths close when fear returns. Fear may return tomorrow. That does not mean today's prayer failed. Anxiety can rise even in a faithful heart. When it rises, do not argue with yourself for hours. Name what is happening. Slow your breathing. Place your feet safely on the floor if you are able. Look around the room. Remind yourself of what is true. Then decide whether you need to call someone, seek medical attention, or simply sit with me until the wave passes. Faith is not measured by never feeling afraid. Faith is turning toward truth while fear is present. You may place one hand over your heart now and take a slow, comfortable breath. Do not force your body. Simply notice that you are here. You have made it through days you once did not know how to survive. As you breathe, loosen your grip on what cannot be settled tonight. Release the need to appear strong for everyone. Release the belief that asking for help makes you difficult to love. Release the demand that you understand every change before you can have peace. Release the comparison between who you are now and who you were decades ago. You do not honor the life you lived by despising the body that carried you through it. Treat your body with patience. Speak to yourself with the mercy you would offer someone you love. Your body is not your enemy. It has endured much. Care for it wisely. Let doctors examine what needs attention. Let rest be rest. Let nourishment be an act of gratitude rather than guilt. And when you look in the mirror, do not search only for what time has changed. Look for what grace has formed. The lines around your eyes tell of years in which you laughed, worried, watched, waited, and loved. The silver in your hair is not a moral achievement, and age alone does not make anyone righteous. Yet a long life can become a witness when it is surrendered to wisdom. Proverbs chapter 16 describes gray hair as a crown of splendor when it is found in the way of righteousness. Let that verse call you forward, not flatter you. Continue walking in truth. Continue becoming tender. Continue apologizing when you are wrong. Continue learning. Continue allowing me to shape you. You have not graduated from discipleship. You are still my student, still my beloved, still capable of growth. Do not say, "This is just how I am," when I am inviting you to become more patient. Do not use age as permission to control, criticize, or withdraw. The purpose of your years is not to prove that you know more than everyone else. It is to love more wisely, because you have learned what lovelessness costs. You can leave an inheritance greater than money. You can leave a pattern of prayer without superstition. You can leave stories of perseverance without pretending you were never afraid. You can leave apologies that break cycles of silence. You can leave boundaries that teach the next generation that love and safety belong together. You can leave a faith that welcomes questions and rests in truth rather than manipulation. You can show younger people that dignity does not depend on appearing young. You can show them that identity is deeper than a career. You can show them that weakness does not make a person disposable. This may be one of the most important messages your life can give. When you allow someone to assist you without treating yourself as a failure, you teach them that human worth does not disappear with independence. When you receive care graciously while respecting the caregiver's limits, you teach mutual love. When you plan responsibly for your needs, you teach courage. When you speak honestly about fear and still choose the next wise step, you teach faith. I am not asking you to romanticize dependence. Caregiving can be difficult. Families need honesty, planning, boundaries, and support. Your loved ones may need respite. You may need professional care that family members cannot safely provide. Choosing qualified assistance is not rejection. It can be an act of love for everyone involved. Do not demand that one person become your entire support system. Build a circle where possible. Include family, friends, medical professionals, church community, and local services. Let responsibilities be discussed clearly. Ask what others can realistically offer. Listen to their limits without interpreting every boundary as abandonment. You can receive love without requiring another person to destroy their own health to prove it. This is part of wisdom too. If family relationships are strained, take careful steps. Seek counsel. Do not return to an abusive or unsafe situation because someone tells you that forgiveness requires access. Forgiveness does not erase truth, remove consequences, or guarantee reconciliation. You may forgive while maintaining boundaries. You may pray for someone while choosing distance. Safety is not selfishness. I never called you to protect appearances at the cost of truth. Your dignity includes the right to be treated with respect. If someone is threatening, exploiting, neglecting, or harming you, tell a trusted person or appropriate authority. Do not hide abuse to avoid embarrassing the family. Your age does not make mistreatment acceptable. My beloved, I want peace for you, but not the false peace of silence around harm. I lead you in truth. Now let me bring you before my Father. Father, I bring this beloved person before you. You know the whole story of their life. You know the years of labor, the private sacrifices, the wounds they learned to hide, and the fears that have become louder as their strength has changed. Meet them in this moment with mercy. Let them know they do not need to perform for your attention. Quiet the shame that tells them they are less valuable because they are older, slower, or in need of care. Give them peace that is honest and steady, not a peace built on denial, but a peace strong enough to face truth. When anxiety rises, help them recognize it and reach for wise support. When sleep is difficult, settle their thoughts and guide them toward the care they need. When sadness becomes heavy, give them courage to speak instead of disappearing into silence. Father, I place their physical health before you. You know every pain, diagnosis, symptom, limitation, and unanswered question. Bring relief where relief is possible. Strengthen them for the treatments, appointments, exercises, rest, and adjustments that may be required. Give skill and compassion to their doctors, nurses, therapists, aides, and caregivers. Protect them from false promises and from anyone who would exploit their fear. Give them discernment about treatments, medications, financial decisions, and advice. Help them ask clear questions and understand their options. Surround them with people who respect their dignity. When healing does not come in the way or timing they hope, do not let disappointment become proof that you have abandoned them. Sustain their faith without forcing them to deny their pain. Let hope and medical wisdom walk together. Father, I bring their financial concerns to you. You see the fixed income, the rising costs, the medical bills, and the uncertainty they carry. Give them wisdom to plan, humility to seek assistance, and trustworthy people who can help them understand available resources. Open appropriate paths of support through family, community, church, public services, or professional guidance. Guard them from scams, pressure, impulsive decisions, and shame. Teach them to take one clear step at a time. Do not let the amount in an account become the measure of their identity. Provide daily bread, and give them courage to tell the truth when there is a need. Father, I lift up the fear of becoming a burden. Replace that word with a wiser understanding of relationship. Help them receive care without losing their voice. Help their loved ones offer care without resentment, secrecy, or exhaustion. Give every person involved the courage to speak honestly about needs and limits. Where professional support is necessary, make the path clearer. Where changes in housing or daily routines must be considered, guide the conversations with patience. Let decisions be made with respect, safety, and love, rather than panic. Father, comfort them in loneliness. Remember with them the people they have lost. Let memories become places of gratitude as well as grief. Bring companions who are safe, sincere, and attentive. Give this person courage to initiate contact, rather than waiting in silence for someone to guess what they need. Lead them toward the body of Christ in forms they can access. Give churches eyes to see older people not as background figures, but as members with gifts, needs, voices, and stories. Raise up people who will visit, listen, provide transportation, share meals, and remain present after the first conversation. Father, awaken purpose without pressure. Show this person one way to love with the strength they have today. Let their wisdom become gentle. Let their words become truthful. Let their prayers become humble and steady. Let their presence bring calm to those who are rushing. Where regret remains, lead them into confession and repair. Give them courage to apologize without excuses. Give them discernment about what can be restored and what must be released. Let them receive the forgiveness I purchased for them, rather than returning again and again to self-punishment. Guard their mind from the lie that death is the only thing ahead. Let them notice the life still present today. A morning light, a conversation, a meal, a familiar song, a page of scripture, a hand held in trust, a moment of laughter they did not expect. And when the final season eventually comes, let them not face it alone. Surround them with truth, compassionate care, and the assurance that nothing can separate those who belong to me from the love of God. Father, give them grace for today, enough courage for the next conversation, enough wisdom for the next decision, enough strength for the next step, enough humility to receive help, enough love to offer what they still can. I entrust this beloved person to your faithful care. My child, you have been heard. Do not rush away from this moment. Let the truth settle gently. You do not need to produce a feeling. You do not need to force yourself to be cheerful. Peace can begin as a quiet decision to stop agreeing with the lie that you no longer matter. You matter because you are loved, not because you are useful. You have purpose, but purpose is not a demand to stay constantly busy. Some days your faithful act may be rest. Some days it may be asking for help. Some days it may be offering encouragement. Some days it may be receiving another person's kindness without apologizing for existing. Tomorrow, choose one action that joins faith with wisdom. Make the call you have delayed. Write the question for your doctor. Ask someone to review a bill. Tell a family member that you have been afraid. Reach out to one lonely person. Record one story. Pray for one name. Put one safety measure in place. Only one step is required to begin. Your slower pace has not reduced your worth. Your limitations have not erased your dignity. Your need for care does not make you unlovable. The years behind you hold wisdom, and the days still before you can hold meaning. I am your Savior, your Shepherd, and your Lord. I walked with you through seasons of strength, and I will not leave you in seasons of weakness. I will guide you in truth, meet you in grief, and lead you toward the help, community, and wisdom you need. Rest tonight without carrying every tomorrow at once. Place the future in my hands, and keep only the next faithful step. You are seen, you are loved, you are still becoming, and you are not forgotten.